Dun, 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 dun. Kilted balls. That one might have been close. It might have been close. Might have been good. Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
Another episode of the Kilted Balls.
Now, I do declare, have you had the Arby's half pounder yet?
I have not had the Arby's half pounder, and I no longer trust you anymore. So
I had it this weekend, and it Arby's has a new way they do things. You can order the regular, like we're used to when we were younger, or you can order in a half pound. So you can get a half pound beef and cheddar sandwich. It is delicious, if I do say so.
Is the cheddar from down under?
Yes, exactly. Now, speaking of like that, I showed it to Gina. She said, "That's way too much meat for me." Now, she had never told me that before, so I was really confused.
That's the first time you've heard that.
That's the first time I've ever heard her talk about too much meat, so I'm unsure. I was going to ask you about it, because I'm sure you've never heard that from your wife, and you can really trust where she's coming from.
I would imagine that maybe I have heard that. You're just not as special.
Okay.
That I think your mustache goes so well with that accent. I'm just going to throw that out there. That it goes. Second, did you notice what I'm drinking today? I don't know if you noticed that. I was trying.
I see it. Oh, did you have the new sauce?
Your story was totally made up, but then they do have a new sauce. They do. So for those of you who didn't know, Taco Bell really does. That story last time was completely made up.
That's false.
But they do have a new sauce, and as I threatened last week, I would be eating Taco Bell on this show with the new sauce.
Awesome.
And there is the new sauce.
Oh, you haven't squirted it yet?
Nope.
Okay, squirting
the
right
sauce
now.
is. I'm squirting the sauce on right now.
Is that a Baja Blast that you were drinking? It looked like it.
Honestly, if you go to Taco Bell and you don't get a Baja Blast, you've made bad life choices.
That's true.
This is true. And this is a Doritos Locos Tacos.
So it's funny that while you're eating, I have a little story, because you bring up the mustache. Now, I was gonna shave my mustache to the one way that one guy ruined it for everybody. I mean, if you're a fan of Laurel and Hardy, you can no longer have a mustache. And I was gonna look up. I can't remember if it's Laurel or Hardy that. But one guy ruins it for everybody. I was going to have it just for the podcast because I thought it'd be hilarious. But
you were going to have the mustache just for the podcast?
I was gonna save the mustache to the one way no one can wear mustaches anymore, and just have it for the podcast. But you might be able to tell this is not normal, like nice clothing that I have on. I did mow before picking the kids up from school and jiu-jitsu, and because we're recording early, I did not have the time to shower, much less take care of my mustache and make it look funny.
So you mowed the bush, but not the mustache.
How is the sauce?
I really enjoy the new sauce.
What was it called? I missed it. It came up backwards on my
I don't know
screen.
where I put the sauce this is one I didn't open.
Disha?
Yep,
Disha
Hot.
Is it like an Indian flavor almost? Okay.
I don't think it is, but I love the flavor, and it's not super hot like I was worried it was going to be hot because it's called hot.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Now, once you're done with the taco, are you going to touch some sauce to your pee hole to see how hot it is?
Well, I considered it, being that that's what your story was in the last podcast, was about the Taco Bell sauce getting your pee hole. But I think we've settled on the fact that you just had gonorrhea, so.
No. Nope. You'll be trying to get me in trouble.
Well, I mean, come on. You're wearing a porn stash and you're going to try to pretend you don't have gonorrhea.
I did tell Tristan yesterday I was thinking about getting a new job as a 70s porn star. And Michael started laughing. I guess that was Sunday. I was Sunday. So, yeah, it was funny.
What was his name? Ron Jeremy. Yep, that's who you are.
That's what he said, yeah.
Mustache and the pussycat.
Yep. Are you? Yeah. Here, let's see. Oh, yep. She tastes like a whip.
Yeah, well, once you tasted her, she would be.
Wow.
You froze for half a second. So, listeners, if you don't know, Kilted's been having power issues. He's been having internet issues.
It is storming outside right now, so I was slightly concerned on our recording. Anyway, I was like, okay, we haven't started. It might be bad later when other things are going on, but right now, this is what's the important.
This is important, so as long as it goes. What are you drinking today? Tea, coffee, hot cocoa?
I have tea in here. I put a slight squirt of ground ginger in there, a little squirt of lemon juice, a dash of cinnamon, and a dash of cayenne pepper.
Okay.
So it's good.
I think I'm kind of liking the beard, by the way. I keep going back and forth.
I saw it on your short today. It looked really good.
I'm not sure if I can keep this going. This is getting pretty long. But this, I'm like, you know what? I don't mind this as much. Maybe trim it up a little bit. Oh.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's looking good.
I think it definitely hides my fat, I think, right? I don't look as fat.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Gina pointed that out. There was a picture, I don't know when it was, I don't remember, but she's like, "You've lost some weight." I was like, "I think so." And I was like, must have been right after COVID. Not sure when. But yeah, my cheeks were a little more puffy. Or it's the roller I've been using to break up my fat so I don't have fat face. So that could be it too. One of those two things.
So you have a roller for your face? Most people just call those mushroom stamps.
Nope. Remember, Jason was talking about it.
I do not remember. I for sure think I would laugh if I knew Jason was rolling his face as well.
Yeah, there's a thing. It's people. I guess people do it. I didn't see it. I heard it from him, and I'd seen the rollers before. It's a bigger. They're probably about that wide.
Okay.
They're maybe 1.5 to 2 inches on one side, and then maybe an inch on the other side, and it's a little wand. And you roll it, and it's supposed to break. I guess it's supposed to break up the subcutaneous fat in your face, so you don't get fat face.
I don't think that's what it's for.
Well, here's living proof right here.
I'm not sure what it's for, but the way you describe it, I don't think it's for your face.
Would it help if I said it was jade?
That makes more sense. That makes sense.
It's like a stone of some sort that's been blessed.
Oh,
so,
nice!
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Do you have to put it in the sun to charge it up too?
I forgot. I don't know. I keep mine in the shower. It seems to be working.
That is where I thought you would keep it. It's in the shower. All right.
I tend to use it there.
Do you and Jason have matching ones?
I don't know. I have to ask him. I got mine. Well, I mean, where you could find anything like that. I got it at Marshall's, so it was well worth the $5 that I spent. There was a scraper that came with it too. I don't.
Ooh,
it looks like a perfect skipping stone. It's like another piece of jade.
What happens if it's not jade? What other materials do they have besides jade?
I'm not sure. I don't know where the jade comes from. I didn't read the literature. I just saw it. I can't remember if I grabbed it or Gina grabbed it for me.
So in that same genre of Kilted's interesting life choices, I'm sitting there this weekend, and I don't know how it came up, but I was telling people in the family your news, which you haven't shared yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But as I'm sharing the news, like, I think we were out to breakfast. And so I was like, hey, like, yeah, this happened. And Brenda, like, looks at me and she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this happened. And she's like, he said that wouldn't happen. And I looked at her, I'm like, what do you mean he said that? She goes, he said it multiple times that wouldn't happen. She goes, so was this something where, like, Gina just surprised him and it was like, hey? And I go, nope, I don't think so. And she's like, but he said that wouldn't happen. I'm like, oh, I go, here's something you obviously don't know about Kilted. And she's like, what? I go, he cannot say no to females. It's like a solid rule.
I'm scared to death of female salespeople. I've said that over and over again. But really, so anyone out there who's wondering what Kilted is or what Ballbuster's talking about is we added a new member to the family, and I even think I said it on here that we were not going to be doing that.
I think you did. I think there's an episode. I wish I could find it.
What I've realized is that my family must be listening to the podcast or listen to me talk or listen to the stuff that I listen to because they are powerful manifestors. I'll tell you what, especially Oliver. So this is them outside. Now Gina doesn't love this picture because they're outside, but they're inside. She's an inside dog. So, oh man, is this going to
There it is. Yeah, it's working. Look at that.
There's Banks there, which everybody knows about Banks, unless you're new. That's Banks. He's the bigger one. And the little one is Peppa. So, yeah, she's cute. She's a Weimaraner mix, they said. So she has the Weimaraner eyes. And she's fully grown.
I was thinking you were just gonna like share your screen and put it right up on here, but that worked too. So Peppa is short for anything?
I think Peppa meant Patty.
In our house,
loved Peppa Pig when he was little.
In our house, it's short for salt.
Okay.
And Peppa.
Oh, there we go.
Salt and Peppa.
I did that one too. I did that one first. So it's funny because at the shelter, she was I guess abandoned. She's been in there for a little while, but had some, got fixed and some other issues. But yeah, her name was Patty in there, but Gina's like, we're not gonna keep the name Patty. So I like Peppermint Patty.
So Peppermint Patty. Ha! Look at you! You're getting your way, even if it's just a little bit.
But
I showed you, Gina.
Oliver is in charge of her. He's cleaned up after her. He's feeding her. He's watering her. He takes her out first thing in the morning. He takes her out just before he goes to bed. So
nice.
So far so good.
And she's a year old, so she's probably okay.
Yep. I think the warehouse is a little big for her. She had an accident today, but maybe she's been in the kennel for so long. There may be a couple of those. As long as it's not like on my pillow or anything like that.
That would be less than fun.
We have disinfectant to take care of all that. But yeah, it's all good. She seems to get along with Molly Bean, so Bean's a little concerned about her, but yeah, the two get along great. That was the big thing. Like Banks has been having anxiety. He clawed up the front door really bad and ripped up the floor.
Okay.
And he's never done that before. So Gina's like, maybe he needs a friend. And just last week, actually, I think it was it Thursday? Oh, yeah, it was Thursday during the day that we'd had to talk. I was like, well, I know you look at these sites a lot. If you stumble across someone that looks really good, like go ahead. And then Friday, we're driving to Spartanburg to go get her. So came up the very next day like, oh, Weimaraner. Because she had always said she didn't know if she can turn down a Weimaraner. So
I think it's funny that you're like, well, if anything comes up, as if instantly something's not going to come up.
She's a manifestor too. We're all manifestors, so it works out well.
Anytime anybody says it to me, well, if something were to happen, I'm like, yeah, then it's happening. Like, like I can find a dog. Like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of strays everywhere. Mm-hmm. We're going to find one. So if it happens, there you go. It happens. So how far away was that?
Well, with traffic is almost 2 hours. But yeah, it's
How
like
about
it's like an
miles?
hour and a half.
Miles
That's a great
wise?
question.
Oh,
90.
okay.
It's almost to Greenville.
So a little far away. A little far away.
Yeah. But it was so the facility there, it's in Spartanburg, it's a non-kill facility like at all. They had over 400 animals.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Gina was just like, "Oh, wow." And I guess she was there since June or July. So she'd been there for a while, but like she had her back was scraped up real bad when she came in.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, she got fixed and, all that stuff. So she's probably healing and this and that, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they have it where you can just wander through and look at everybody. You have to like find them on the site and then go in and ask for specific animals, which is probably a little more difficult to move some, but
Totally different note, so that was a no-kill facility, which sounds weird to me, but if you're in a kill facility, why don't they feed the dead ones to the living ones? Is that too dark?
I've heard dogs won't eat dogs, actually. It's a thing. Our friend says if you're ever in Mexico and if you're concerned if you're eating dog, try to feed some of your street burrito to a dog or a cat, and they won't eat their own kind.
Whatever friend is telling you that is completely incorrect.
Okay. That's what Miles said.
Yeah, Miles is... Our cats used to eat each other constantly, all the time. They would eat each other, and we had dogs that would eat other dogs. Like that was on the farm, like over the winter. Yeah, like if they had killed all the rodents, yeah, they would eat each other. Like you'd find them eating each other. So and we've had dogs eat other dogs before. So yeah, nope,
I know they'll kill them, but I didn't realize they would eat them.
Oh yeah, they'll eat them right up.
See, I didn't know that. I'll have to talk to him. So
because unlike
he may have eaten dog in Mexico if he was concerned.
Yeah, like that is not the way to check. Like even if they didn't eat dog, if it's been turned into a burrito, it's no longer like dog, right? Like that's one of my arguments when people are like, "Oh, I don't like venison." I'm like, "Have you had venison chili?" Well, I don't like venison chili. I'm like, you can't tell what's in chili. That's the beauty of chili, right? Like it doesn't matter what meat you put in there because it's overwhelmed by all this. That's why you make chili, right? Like you have spoiled meat. Throw it in the pot, you got chili. Like
there you go.
I'm pretty sure that's how chili was invented, right?
That makes sense.
Like throw up a whole bunch of beans, a whole bunch of spices, cover up the taste, and then you get the protein that your body has to have without you feeling weird about eating spoiled meat, right? So
yeah. Speaking of spoiled meat and food, it's I had two things I wanted to talk about, and actually I meant to make shorts, but I've been being lazy this week. Just been a busy week.
It happens.
But Morgan's teacher asked us if we had read The Dorito Effect. Have you heard of that book or seen it?
No, in fact, you just asked us.
Interesting.
You asked about it on Thursday.
Oh, I couldn't remember if I had asked you Thursday.
Because remember, I brought up the fact that yellow dye number 5 you can use to make skin invisible.
Yes.
True story, people. True story.
Yeah, those pictures were awesome. But so far, it's been really, really interesting. It's going through and talking about tastes and how companies make tastes or make sense for us, and all that whole process, and basically how we're eating food that's not really food anymore because things are so diluted, and like chicken nowadays doesn't taste like chicken from the 40s because they're so mass produced, and some of those good things don't have a chance to really set in unless you're getting like a farm raised chicken, and they do taste different. And I remember that a past time in my life where I would eat chicken like that, and it did taste a lot different. So it's just super interesting. And then I think I'm one of the last people to discover this book, but at my library they had it was like a book of the month thing for like young adults and adults.
Yeah.
But it was Death Note. It's a manga.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I had never heard of it before. I saw the book and I almost grabbed it, but it's a comic, but it wasn't colored. So I was like, I don't know if I'd really read it. And then the next day I got an email that said it was this Book of the Month Club thing. So I was like, well, if they're telling everyone to read it, I probably should read it. And it's super awesome. I loved it. If you get into that stuff at all, I would really suggest it. And then I had it at jiu-jitsu on Saturday, and Paul, the instructor, he's like, he made a joke because I guess the main character in it has the same name as a coach in Japan. And this coach in Japan was like writing in this notebook, and there, it was like a big meme over there. But it's a Netflix movie, which is okay, and then a Netflix
Show.
like miniseries, so a show. But I haven't watched that yet, but it looks really good. So yeah, I would highly suggest it. Any of our readers out there, if you get into that sort of stuff, if you're behind even me and you haven't heard of it, I would suggest it.
Or you can watch the show, right? The show's on Netflix. You can watch the show.
I've heard it's on Hulu too. Don't watch the movie first. I wouldn't suggest watching the movie first.
No, have you watched the movie?
I watched the movie to see if it was okay for Oliver to watch.
And was it or was it not?
I think it would be because it says, I mean, the storyline is the same, but it said there's nudity. There's one scene with some nudity if you're looking carefully. So I saw it.
And you saw that scene and you're like...
No, I saw the whole movie. I noticed the nudity. He may or may not.
Oh, did he watch it with you?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I thought you...
I was just watching it to see if I could say, okay, you go ahead and watch it. But I told him he should watch the series.
Well, hopefully
You've seen the series?
I haven't watched either the movie or the series. I just see it on Netflix all the time. I assume my family has.
Yeah, you guys watch a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, they are always watching. They've watched tons. Cal's watched a ton, right? So, but I don't know if I have. I'm pretty sure I've never watched that one. I've just seen it on there. Speaking about weird anime manga, and since you didn't know about Death Note, this won't make any sense to you either, probably. But Ava, my middle one, just wrote yesterday and said she doesn't know what she's going to do because she finally finished hers. Her manga that she was watching.
Oh, what was she watching?
Shoot. Like, all of a sudden, like, I was thinking it the whole time, and then you know how you do that when somebody asks you, and you're like, I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, One Piece.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so they made a live action on Netflix last year, which was pretty good. And the comic is pretty good, but she finally finished the episodes.
Okay.
And I don't think you understand.
No, is there a billion of them?
There is not a billion. There are 21 seasons so far. And let me see if I can see how many there are. 1,119 episodes.
Awesome.
15 movies.
half hour each one.
Yeah, they're maybe like 20 minutes, maybe.
Wow. I think I remember the Hideous Laughter Gang talking about that.
Oh, did they?
That one is familiar.
I really enjoy it. I enjoyed the live action. If I were you, I would watch the live action. I think it's if I remember right, the live action is fine for Ollie, right? Cal might have even watched it. I don't know, but
and the
was
live
enjoyable.
action is Netflix.
Yeah. I think the series is on Netflix too, but not the whole series. Like, they release it in like chunks.
Yeah.
And so the most recent one, the one she said she finally finished, I think was released in Japan, and so she watched it from over there and stuff. But yeah, it's still 1,000 episodes. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like she said, I finished and I don't know what to do with my life, and I'm like, 1,000 episodes? That's like crazy.
That's some dedication.
That is dedication, right? And she's been watching for a long time. So, but you figure that's quite a bit when you have life going on too. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Death Note, people check out. Maybe check out One Piece. I don't know if you'd like One Piece or not. It's a little bit odd. Yeah, good times. You know,
That's awesome.
if you have free time, you can do that.
Anything else exciting this weekend for you?
Well, listen here, Kappa. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes they just happen, and you just move on. You move on. You go through to the next thing. I can't give it as much as you did, so because you were going crazy. I'm not quite that good.
You're great.
Yeah, only for small bits. Small bits. You were going for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to prove points. Especially when fouls are called.
I mean, I go long when it matters. Like, you know,
There you go. You go long.
I go long. Heck yeah. I was thinking, and I wrote you on this, and nobody's like messaged us or said anything. But like in our Discord, I was talking about how KuCoin is now like we knew from the beginning that KuCoin might go kaput in the US. It finally is going to go kaput. I'm really sad because my bots for like the first, well maybe not the first time, but in this iteration are all down, like the majority of them. So I don't want to pull anything out, right? But they're down, so I probably have to pull out before the money just disappears. But then it made me think, like, what do I do about the 36-step challenge? Because when I pull that out, it's going to reset me down low. But then I was like, okay, do I use something like Coinbase? Do I go to Binance US, which I heard is not good? Do I go to, like, just go through and do, like, ally investing and invest in normal stocks? And so, you know, I was thinking a lot today. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, there's a lot of options. I was gonna leave because we're talking about the 36-step challenge here, and right now I'm leaving mine till they make me take it out. It said, and actually I haven't checked it. I checked it that day that it said it was doing that.
Yeah.
But I believe my bots are still on. So as long as my bots are still on, I'm leaving it as much as I can because the ones that are down, I don't think they can really go down anymore.
Yeah, that's how mine are. Really they're down so low that I'm like, yeah, right. They're down so low, they're not going anywhere.
So my bots are actually still trading, and yeah. So I'm gonna keep it like that for as long as possible, and then when the time comes and I've got to move it, I'm gonna move over to probably Coinbase as well. Try to find if there is something where I can do a
So this says, to give you an idea, the message on my KuCoin says on October 17th, all services of your account will be ceased, and all ongoing services will be forcibly terminated. Your account will be set to withdraw only status, and you must withdraw by December 17th.
Yep.
So that gives us, it gives you like 3-4 weeks for your bots before your bots are forcibly stopped. So I guess if they start going positive.
Yeah, I have some that are positive already, but it's just I'm going to let them keep going. I guess my only concern is that, like, when the bots stop, what are they going to do? They're probably going to pull out whatever is actually in the bot. So if people don't understand the bots, because we haven't talked about that in a while, is that, depending where it's at, I might have a lot of the, bid, which is down a ton. So when it closes, if I have I might have $5 in just that crypto and none in USDT. So when they close it, whereas some I might have some USDT, some Bitcoin or whatever. So I guess that's going to be interesting to see. And, I'm just going to have to move some of that stuff, and hopefully wherever I move it to, they'll take it as well. Because I think some of those smaller ones are going to be just KuCoin, and, maybe those I want to close up.
Yeah, you do bring up a good point. Like, my BidP positions, which is down, like mine hasn't been trading forever. I can't believe yours is, but mine is like
mine
down.
Mine is not trading.
Oh,
I'm just trying to get it to move back up.
Mine's down 91%, so it's not going to ever hit that. But it right now has. Can I read this right? almost 8,000 of the bid P and $15 in USDT.
Okay.
So I entered it at 2 cents, 2.5 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it now? 0.0001. So it was 0.02, and now it's 0.0001. So it would have to like 100x.
Yeah. We had a couple wins with KuCoin Hunter, but then we did not.
Yeah, then we had some bad ones.
Yep.
Which, that happens. And that's, but that's why I'm like looking at that. But you're right. I didn't think about the fact, like if KuCoin takes BidP, I can just transfer that straight. I can just keep my BidP forever. I don't have to take the L.
Yeah, because it'd be withdrawal only.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case, I mean, rather than converting it to $4 of USDT, just keep it.
Unless they forcibly change it all to USDT.
Yeah, they may. That's what we're unsure about.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, that made me start thinking about doing that, which I've wanted to like get into stocks, but I think the learning curve when I was playing on stocks today is much, much longer. One of my ideas was like, because I have so many 401ks and 403bs and all that stuff, like maybe I do that like the similar trading style, but with one of those retirement accounts. Like throw $1,000 in there, start trading it as if it's retirement, because then I can do all of those trades and there's no taxes on it.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
I'm like, oh, that's like a good idea. I never thought about the fact, because one of the issues, listeners, that we deal with is when we're trading on KuCoin, though the government doesn't watch it, but we're honest, ethical people, every trade we make, we have to pay taxes on. So when we're getting a 10x, that's awesome, yay, but we're also having to pay our fair share. Whereas if we were doing it the other way, we would never have to pay our fair share until we took it out when we're like 90. So
yeah.
It also made me think of something else interesting. I tried to buy a house, I don't know, like a few weeks ago, and the family was like not having any of it. I think for a few reasons. One, they didn't want to get back into that kind of business. And two, because I was probably going to have to pay cash for it. But it was like right across the street from me. And you know, right? And you know the area I'm in. So if I can get a house that I'm paying cash for across the street, I'm going to make money on that deal. And I'm like, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing dollar signs. The family was seeing work that was going to have to go in. So I get that. But then today when I was like, oh, how do I make my money? And then I was thinking about like the percentages we make and all of that. And I realized that for most of my real estate I bought, I can't do percentages with it.
Why is that?
Because I never used any money to buy any of them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because you weren't using real money.
Right? Like I told people that. I'm like, money's not a real thing. Like you guys think it's real and it's not. And people are always like, no, it's real, it's real. But I was like, okay, when I got the duplex, right? Which you lived at the duplex. I've now had the duplex for, 25 years? 30 years? Yeah. When I bought that, it was a free loan. Like they were loaning like crazy back then. So I didn't put any money down. I just got a loan on it. And you may say, well, yeah, but then you paid the loan. No, I had renters pay the loan. I never paid the loan. It's just always done it. I have the 4 unit that I bought, and I used a line of credit that I got on the duplex to pay the down payment on the 4 unit.
Yeah.
And the 4 units, now a land contract paid me money. It paid off the line of credit. So it just like poof. So it didn't have my money. I have the place over in DeWitt that I bought, and when I bought it, I borrowed the down payment from somebody else and paid them off within like 4 or 5 years, right? So like, I'm like, none of those actually had money. So I'm like, I can't look at, did I 10%? Did I 10x? Did I 20x? Because literally everything is pure money there.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it again today while I'm out like doing runs and stuff. I'm like, wait a second. That's seriously been the best way for me to make money over stocks and crypto and everything else. I'm like, And it's dumb that I'm not doing it. And speaking about free money, like you've heard my idea for books and bourbon and stuff. And my good friend Rick has been like, oh yeah, I really want to do that with you. We should do that. And I was saying something to Amy the other day while we were driving. I was like, oh yeah, they really want me to kind of start that. And I really would like to buy this property downtown. It says for sale, but I can't find it listed. Or I would like this property, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but like, how does that even work? And she's like, well, you get a commercial loan or an SBA loan. I'm like, right, but I'm like, man, I wish I knew somebody who knew how to do all of that. And she's like, she goes, it's seriously that easy. And I'm like, she goes, that's what we do all the time. We just get SBAs and business loans. And she goes, and then we just keep buying properties and, buying restaurants.
Did that house across the street sell, or is it still there?
Nope, it's sold.
Okay.
I think it sold the first time. They were asking too much. Sold. The people who bought it found out it needed a new well and septic. So the deal fell through and the price dropped. And then I'm like, it's going to go for sure. Like, I mean, things here fly off the market anyway all the time.
Yeah.
So, because, we're not like, say, Charleston, where there's development all over. Like, we don't develop the area. So, purposely. And so, you can't find stuff. So, yeah. But, yeah, it went for 118, I think.
Wow. I know, because I was like, well, shoot. I was thinking it was long gone, but since you brought it up again, I was like, maybe we do need to have a house up there.
I was going to tell Amy, I'm like...
I was talking about it, we never went and looked at it.
I was like, Amy, like, Kilton should just get this. Like, it's 118, and it was, I don't know, a couple acres or something.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So I'm like, that's free money right there, honestly.
Even if you need a new septic tank and well, like, okay, cool.
Yeah, like, okay, sweet. Like... So I got to drop 20 into it. So now that $300,000 property, I had to pay 140 for.
Yeah.
150, like
what? I'm sure there's other things you could have done to it, but
oh my gosh, it needed some work. But is what it is. Yeah. So anyway, lots of ideas, people. All right, anything else? Yep. Anything more from the weekend?
No, it was awesome. I mean, that was my weekend. The new family member took up a lot of time this weekend, and she's awesome. And yeah,
she looks amazing.
Gina was laughing today. She's like, I never thought like a dog, much less a cat. And she's like, I'm not a cat person. And then she's like, now we have 2 dogs, and someone's giving away some turtles. And I'm like, well, we have that tank. We could put them in there. Right? They were in a bad home. So I'm like, we could easily put them over there.
Turtles aren't bad. Like, turtles aren't bad. Dogs, like, the thing that's good about dogs is they live like 15 years. So
yeah, yeah.
It's not like a kid. They're like when you don't want a kid. Like, I always think that about dogs. Dogs are when you're like, man, I really want something else to take care of. Well, I'll just get a dog because I know that one's done. Whereas the kid I've got forever. So
Well, the dogs, I figured the dogs are going to make it till the kids are about done with school. And then it's like, okay, like, maybe they go off to college or whatever, but then it'll be like, okay, dogs are gone and kids are gone and the fish will probably be gone by then. So
maybe you'll have more fish.
Yeah, I'll have my midlife crisis by then. So, should be early 60s. So right about time.
You mean your third midlife crisis?
I haven't had one yet. I haven't had a crisis.
I'm pretty sure if I wrote down some of the things you've done, people would be like, "Oh, it sounds like he's going through a midlife crisis."
But some of those things weren't my choices.
You bought a Porsche.
I did. The World War III was starting, so.
And that's not a crisis. I think World War III is a crisis. For sure.
Not a midlife crisis. It was a super fun car. I'm glad I did it.
Oh my gosh, I'm still kind of jealous. That was a good time. So I like living vicariously through you. I'm hoping not to get another dog. You got a dog, yay. You bought a Porsche. I don't want to buy a Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
You got a truck?
Got my truck, my big old pickup truck. Life is good. Life is good.
There you go.
And listeners, I hope your life is good too. We've kind of exhausted our time today. So hopefully y'all are having a great week. Catch up on YouTube and see us on Twitter. Leave us some comments. Do the subscribe thing. So that'd be awesome. And this is Ballbuster signing off.
Kill the Dragon Jer. Love you all.